friends, Laura here. I'm back for day 24 of BookMas. So today I'm going to focus on the series and that I have caught up on or that I finished. And this is a big goal for 2021 because I really feel like I haven't been reading sequels. Looking at this list, I think I read more than I thought I did, but still not where I need to be. So I did make a goal, which if I can remember, I think I want to complete 5 series this year. And what was the other one? And I want to read at least 10 sequels this year, which I definitely did that this year, but I want to maybe up that a little bit and maybe read like 20 sequels this year. But let's do the recap and then we'll do the looking forward. So, overall, for 2021, at the time of this filming, I caught up or finished 17 series. Caught up means I am caught up to publication date, or the series is over. So I'm just going to kind of flash through those and give you guys my immediate thought on the last book in the series and what my thoughts were, as if I thought it was a good series or not. Try to be really, really quick. If you want any specific information, let me know and I can try to find the month that I read it and I can kind of put that down below. But all my wrap-ups are on this channel and on my blog as well, and on my Goodreads. So the first series I wound up finishing was I reread the Illuminae file series for my YouTube for my Facebook group, and I read that in the first 3 months of the year. Really like that series. Very, very solid. Would recommend it. Would recommend you definitely listen to the audiobook for that one if you're going to read it as well, because the audiobook I think just enhances the reading experience, but definitely a 5-star read for all of them. Really like that series. Definitely one of my favorites. I also read Aurora Rising Book 2. I like that. I don't think I loved it. I really do want to reread them back to back closer, and I think I want to get the audiobooks for those as well, so that's a goal. I don't know if we're going to get book 3 this year. I think Amy Kaufman said we were, but, you know, COVID delays and all that other stuff make things a little bit more complicated. But I did like it. It wasn't my favorite. I think I still preferred book 1, but still a good read. And then Keeper of the Lost Cities. I'm going to say I'm caught up because I did read the 9th book in that series. I still need to read like the Unlocked book, which is like a companion book that has like a written part at the tail end. So I'm going to say I'm caught up, but I still need to read that book, and I'm actually looking into getting the audiobook for that because I think I'll enjoy it a little bit better, at least for the first half of that book. So that series I'm going to say check. I also did finish the Dark Artifices series, which is Cassie Clare's Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and Queen of Air and Darkness. I finished those 2 books in that series, and I also read some of the tie-in novels. I read again Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy just because I really like that book. And then I listened to The Ghosts of the Shadow Market, and I listened to the first Magnus and Alec one, and I'm actually listening to the second one. I may not be done by tomorrow. I doubt I'll be done by tomorrow, but I can make an effort. So, actually, I think Cassie Clare is probably one of my most read authors that I read this year. If I had to put it into, like, numbers, I think she's the author I read the most. But I loved all of those series, and I also started Chain of Gold, but that's not a sequel. And then I also caught up on the Heart So Fierce and Broken series because I read A Heart So Fierce and Broken. That's the sequel to A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I really, really like that book a lot. I actually made my top 10 fantasy books of the year. Really liked it. So excited for the 3rd book. I'm definitely getting it when it comes out in January. I also finished reading Majesty, which is, I think it's the last book in the American Royal series, which again made my top reads of the year for sure. I also reread the Illuminae Chronicles series, and I actually really liked my reread of that. It's been a while since I read that, but I thoroughly really liked it. I also caught up on the Legend of Eerie series by reading Gigantus, which is a fun middle grade series. I also caught up. I also finished the Storm Crow, which is the sequel is The Crow Rider, and I actually really like that sequel as well. It was really enjoyable. It didn't make my top reads of the year, but it was a very, very solid sequel and a very, very solid conclusion to that, one that I really liked. And then, oh my god, let me find my paper. I also finished reading Finale, which I liked. I thought it was a fun conclusion and one that definitely put a smile on my face. I also read the sequel to Nevermore, which was Wondersmith. I liked it. I didn't love it as much. And this is 2 series I marathoned. I marathoned the Touch of Gold series because I was on a tour for it. Again, I think I like the first book a little bit better than the second book in that series. But I really like Annie Sullivan's writing, and I'm super excited to see what she works on next. And I also read the Quiet You Carry series by Nikki Barsom, which is a contemporary series that deals with abuse and other hard-hitting issues set in the foster care arena. I think I liked book 1 a little bit more, but a very, very solid series. If you like Katie McGarry and some hard-hitting contemporary issues, that is a series I definitely recommend you check it out. And it doesn't nearly get enough love, so make sure you check out. The first book is called The Quiet You Carry. And then the next book series that I finished was the Wires and Nerves duology that I read right after I finished the Luminar Chronicle series, and those were 2 tie novels that I just really liked. Like, thought it was great. I was so happy that I picked it up. And that was another, like, for the tail end of that series from Marissa Meyer. She's actually most of those were rereads, but I did actually read a lot of Marissa Meyer this year because I also read Instant Karma as well, which was her contemporary debut, which I liked. I have an unpopular opinion. I liked it, but not many people did, but what are you gonna do? I also read the newest Dash and Lily book, which is Dash and Mind the Gap Dash and Lily. That was a Christmas series that came out this year. I read it. I really liked it. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite Christmas series this year, but it was fun. I also reread Devouring Gray and read I can't think of the sequel. I can't think of what the sequel's called. Devouring Gray and the sequel. But I completed that duology. I just can't think of the second book. But I really liked it as well. I thought that was a very, very solid conclusion. And I also finished The Tower of Nero, which is the 15th Percy Jackson read, and wrapped up that one. So yeah, those are all the series that I'm like either wrapped up or caught up on. Still think that's super impressive. And now let's get into the series that I read more books in, but I'm not caught up. Story of my life. So this is definitely a shorter list, but I did also read some more books in series that, I just haven't progressed with or I haven't completed. So yeah, let's dive into that. The first book I did read was I wound up reading Laura Jean, the second one, To All the Boys. I think it's I Still Love You. I think it's P.S. I Still Love You, which is the second book in that series. So I could watch the movie, and then irony of my life, I just watched the movie like 2 days ago. So I was supposed to watch it like when it came out for like the holidays, and then my thing fell. I'll have to fix it in a second. But I liked it. I have to get around to reading the last one, and you guys will see that in the later part of this video, but that was fun. I really like the movie. It's just, they're just fun books. They just put a smile on my face. And then the next series I caught up with, I don't know if this is going to be accurate, but I'm in the middle of reading the second Queen's Poisoner book, which is The Thief's Daughter. I read about 100 pages. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it by tomorrow, but it's a goal. So I'll let you guys know on the back half of this month what I thought of it if I was able to finish it. But I am in the middle of reading it, and that's the goal of my next reading vlog that I'm trying to get ready for. So for the end of the year. And then I also read 2 Arusha books this month. I read Arusha and the End of Time and Arusha and the Song of Death. Really like both of them. I think I like the second book a little bit more, and I'm really excited to catch up before the 4th book comes out in April, which is high on my TBR for that month. So I'm really excited for that one. I'll probably get the audiobook because I think I like listening to those books better than actually reading them. So that might be a change I make going forward in that series. I also, this is like not like a series, but I have been trying to catch up on the Twisted Tale series that like answer like a question from Disney, from the Disney World. And I read the Sleeping Beauty one, I read the Mulan one, I read the Cinderella one. I have quite a few left to still read, but those are the ones that I did read. I like them. I pretty much like them all. The only one I wasn't the biggest fan of was the Reflection one, which was the Mulan one. But I liked all the other ones that I read, and I hope to tackle those in 2021, hopefully. I also am really close to catching up on the Babysitter's Club. I read like the tie-in graphic novels. I read Claudia's this year. I read Dawn, Christy, and Stacy, and I actually have Marianne's in my book haul to haul for you guys, and then I'll probably read it in early 2021 because the new one's coming out soon, I think. But this one is Logan Lakes, Mary Ann, and they're just really, really fun reads. I actually have really enjoyed reading comic books this year just because they're quick and they're just fun. And normally when I commute, I just stick one in my book sleeve, and that's what I read when I'm done with my book. But since I'm not commuting, my graphic novel reading has gone down a little bit, to be expected. But I also started my Star Wars read. There's so many Star Wars books out there, and they started like a Rise to the Skywalker tie-in novel, and my goal was to actually like read all the books and then watch the media in coordination with it. That didn't happen, but I did read Lost Stars, which is the first one, so I'm well on my way. I just have to be a little bit better at actually adding those to my TBR and finding them, so that's another goal for 2021. So many goals. So many. And then I also read one more Stalking Jack the Ripper book. I read Escaping from Houdini, which was set on a cruise ship. Still have one more book to read, and honestly, I'll probably read it next Halloween. That's what I've been doing. I've been reading one every Halloween, so we'll see how that goes. But those are all the series that I like caught up on. Now let's get to the endless sequels that I still have not read. Yeah, I know. You were waiting for this, weren't you? Because I know I was. So this is the part of the video that I'm dreading because I have to show you all the sequels that I physically own. And these are not even my e-galleys that I have, that I physically own, that I really need to prioritize. And that is why I am redoing my bookshelf. I will show it to you guys when it's all clean and organized. Maybe I'll do like a video of like my organization system because right now I don't have one. So I think I'm going to have to redo that and like kind of take today and kind of really do it because I want to go into 2021 pretty much fresh. So yeah, that's my plan right now is to kind of take some time today and kind of organize everything. But let's show you. I'm sure you guys have sequels as well. So the first one is Soul of Stars by Ashley Poston or Poston. I can never say her name correctly. But this is the sequel to Heart of Iron, and this came out like so many years ago, and I just never got around to reading it. But my logic is, since Ashley Poston is not releasing a new book next year, I will be motivated to head back to this world. So, see, sometimes waiting has benefits. This is one I recently picked up, but this is The Tale of Witchcraft by Chris Colfer, which is the sequel to Tale of Magic. And this is the prequel series to the Land of Stories series. I really like the first one, so I hope I can get around to this one as well. Also, Soul of Sword by Julie Kagawa, which is the sequel to Shadow of the Fox. I do have the audiobook, which means I'll probably wind up reading the sequel, because I definitely have to reread the first one. It's been a bit. This was one I was really hoping to actually read this year, but Potion Diary is going viral. This is the last book that's currently out in the Potion Diary series. Series does not get nearly enough love, but I really like it, and I remember it left off sort of a cliffhanger. So I hope to get to this one soon in 2021 because it's been on a lot of TBRs for the end of the year because it's like the end of a series, and I'm hoping to wrap up a couple next year, so we will see. Another one that I really thought I was going to read this year was Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahoran. This is the sequel to Serpent and Dove, but again, it was so big and so massive, it just didn't make it into time-wise, especially because I have to do all these filming stuff. But again, hopefully 2021 will be the year, and the sequel's coming, probably the trilogy. Another book is probably coming out, so I'll probably be a little bit more motivated. The Night Country by Melissa Alpert was a book that I DNF'd because I thought this was a book that followed Fitz. But maybe I'm not correct. But see, it says, yeah, it is. I mean, maybe I need to like read the first 50 pages because I felt a little bit confused going into this one, but maybe that's my own fault. I also chatted about Always and Forever Lara Jean, which was the last book in the Lara Jean series. The conclusion to the Girls I Love Before series. I really want to read this. I'll probably read this honestly in around Valentine's Day. I don't know if we're getting the new movie. COVID kind of affected everything, so I don't know if we're getting a movie. Maybe we will. Maybe I'll do a reading vlog. Comment below if you want to see that. I have another thriller sequel, which is Rise by Ellen Goudet, which is a sequel to Rule. This one I read a couple of years ago. I got this at BEA the second to last time I went. I think I got this like 2 years ago. Haven't heard a lot of people talk about this series. It was like blood magic. It was like a mystery thriller with like a Game of Thrones element. So I'm intrigued. Hope to get around to it. Sorry, I have to bend down because they're all on my floor. The Beast, which is a dark, deep novel. They actually just came out with a third book, but this one I got at BEA a couple of years ago. And I really liked the first one. Kind of reminds me of Stranger Things, but not as scary. So since we're not getting a season of Stranger Things right now, I'll probably make that one a priority. Also, Good Girl Bad Blood is not technically out in the US yet, but I got an early copy. So I'm just going to toss it into the stack because to me it's considered a sequel. And this one has a podcast element. Again, this was another book that I was really hoping to read by the end of the year. Just did not happen. 2021, hopefully, yes. So I'm just going to bend down and get the rest of them. Ooh. Sorry. Now I have them all. Also, The Firekeeper by Jesse Cervantes, which is the sequel to Stormrunner. I also have to read the other books in this series. Wings of Fire, The Lost Heir by 2T Sutherland, which is like a 14-book series, but I did like the first one. The Adventure Guild, Twilight of the Elves. Again, this is the second book in a series. I do have to catch up because there's more books out. And, sorry, they're going to fall. And then the next series is The Unwanted Islands of Silence, which is the second book in the Unwanted series. And the 14th book is coming out soon, so I should get a move on. So yeah, those are all of the sequels that I have to try to make a priority for 2021. I'll report back and let you know how successful that is. Let me know in the comments what are some sequels that you really need to get around to in 2021, and we'll chat in the comments.